Introduction.
From 1877 to 1889, the United States grappled with a profound identity dilemma. At a crucial crossroads, the nation wrestled with contemplating its destiny, asking, which course do we envision taking as we progress? This era, situated neatly between the repercussions of the Civil War and the onset of the 20th century, experienced significant occurrences that shaped the political, social, and economic landscape of the cherished United States. Let's kick things off with the big finale of Reconstruction in 1877. It was like the end of a wild party. The federal troops packed up and left the South, and suddenly the atmosphere was thick with Jim Crow laws. These discriminatory rules unraveled the progress made during Reconstruction faster than you could say Compromise of 1877, which did a stellar job dismantling federal protection for African Americans. Racial discrimination and inequality waltzed back onto the scene like they never left. Economic ground zero was also a thing during this era. The rapid shift of the United States from a serene community into a robust industrial entity occurred nearly instantaneously. Yet, as frequently observed, substantial influence tends to breed notable greed. Enter the trusts, these corporate giants that threw a monopoly party, caring little for the folks on the factory floor. Cue protests, cue the Great Railroad Strike of 1877, prompting the Knights of Labor to debut on the stage of worker discontent. Civil rights took center stage in this drama too. African Americans were tired of being treated like second-class citizens, so they formed groups like the NAACP. Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois like the dynamic duo. But then the Supreme Court dropped the mic with the 1883 civil rights cases, making racial segregation the trendiest thing since sliced bread. And then there was the cultural scene, the Gilded Age. Flashy displays of wealth, societal imbalances as far as the eye could see. At the same time, Mark Twain and his buddies were bringing realism to the literary table, using words to hold a mirror up to society and say, hey, we've got some issues to work through. The U.S. was riding the wave of global economic stardom, making friends and influencing people. Civil rights got a few baby steps forward, and the arts were doing their thing. But the demise of Reconstruction left racial segregation as a stubborn stain. Industrialization cranked up the heat on working conditions, and the Gilded Age was like a neon sign flashing wealth gap ahead. Why is this relevant in our current context? These origins are intertwined with the challenges that continue to confront us. Civil rights and economic inequality debates were kicking off back then too. The victories of the time can be our guideposts to progress, but the failures are the cautionary tales, the whispered reminders to learn from history and not repeat its funky dance moves.
You've been listening to a portion of the RPTM Podcast. We hope we made you laugh. But more importantly, we hope we made you cry. If you found this episode engaging, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our upcoming thought-provoking discussions.